What's up, man? It's Vash. I haven't talked about this like at all. You know what I'm saying? I watched season one. I've been watching all the episodes since it came on, but I gotta talk about this episode because I was just shocked that, especially, it was one thing that happened as the story was progressing, but in the end, I was like, what the fuck is happening? Grisaia no Rakuen, episode 4, I believe it was. Let me look first because I could get that shit wrong. Yeah, episode 4. Uh, Yeah, this is the episode where they show that Asako, how she died. And, you know what I'm saying, apparently it was some poison due to her being shot. And normally that wouldn't have been anything. They could have actually cured that, but she took a lot of booster medication, and that made her body frail as shit. So I'm assuming that her immune system was failing like a motherfucker because of all this boosted medication. And that's why the venom was able to spread and kill her. You know, because that's like lead poisoning almost, right? That shit can usually be cured, but because her immune system was weak as fuck, there was nothing they could do about it. Because even if they did try to extract it or cure it, her body wouldn't handle the process well, and she would die anyway. So I think that's what happened. But they showed how she died. They showed the life that Yuuji was living. You know what I'm saying? While he was with her and all that sort of stuff, and she died. And he didn't handle this shit well initially. You know, he was kind of like, I finally decided to give you my life and live for your sake. You know what I'm saying? And now you leaving? Are you going to betray me too and leave me and abandon me like everyone else did in my life? I was like, damn. Like, you know what I'm saying? Usually, like, that motherfucker was not handling that shit well, you know? And eventually he does, though. You know what I'm saying? Because she's talking to him and stuff, and, you know, eventually she does handle that shit well. Something that she said, though, that shit was sad to me. You know what I'm saying? It's almost that thing that would happen in Clannad Alpha Story. Because Asako was like, what time is it? And then he was like 16:14, which is 4:14 in the afternoon. It was like 4:14 in the afternoon, which is weird as shit though, because I don't know what the fuck time of year it was in Japan or whatever, but the sun was setting. Like, it looked like it was about 7:30 at night almost, like in the evening time. But the sun was setting, and she was like, oh, the stars must be beautiful because it's dark. And I was just like, oh shit. When you hear a character say something about it being dark, you're just like, yeah, they about to die like a motherfucker. And then she says, hey, I'm getting kind of sleepy, man. Can I rest now? And you're just like, yeah, good night, Asako. And she just never woke up after that. I was like, that shit's sad. And she was cremated. And JB wasn't handling that shit well either, because we see that they were friends from childhood. Like, apparently they grew up in some sort of orphanage. Like, it looked like it was ran by nuns or something. Because the woman who was in charge of it was a nun. And that's what it seemed like. They just were friends from childhood up until now. They both ended up going to the same line of work, ironically enough, which is weird as shit. But yeah, they were raised in some sort of orphanage. And JB wasn't handling this shit well either, because apparently when new kids come to this orphanage, they always get moved around and split up. So she was under the impression that this was going to be a short friendship. But it ended up lasting, you know, at least a decade, because they were kids when that shit happened. So it at least lasted a decade, you know. So JB wasn't handling that shit. And Yuuji just kind of was sleeping on the floor and shit, just trying to, like, you know, remember her scent. And JB showed up, and she was just kind of like, nah, you just can't sit here, you're gonna waste away. So she ended up moving Yuuji into her condo. Somebody said that's condo and shit. And they just, you know, having, you know, interaction with one another, just doing all sort of shit. I think, because he says it in the dialogue, that they thought that because they were both suffering from the same shit, you know, the loss of Asako, that them being together would have made it better. But it didn't, because it was just two people in self-misery, you know what I'm saying, remembering the same person. So it didn't make it better, you know. And there was a funny little scene about a toothbrush, because Yuuji was just kind of like, yeah, I want a toothbrush with hard bristles because yours is too soft. And she was like, you use my toothbrush? She was like, yeah, you said I can use anything I want to. Was that wrong? And she just kind of, what the fuck? Now, the interesting part was, this is still shocking to me. There, right after that scene, you see a scene of them two in the bed together, nude. And I'm just like, wow, so he continued to have sex with her? Cause when I saw it with Asako in the last episode, I was like, oh, so they continue to have a sexual relationship with one another. And in episode 2, I think, yeah, it was episode 2, when he took JB into the bedroom and did whatever he did, I thought that was it. I thought that must have been the last time they did something because JB was like, oh yeah, that did happen, didn't it? But in this retelling of it, they had sex then. And he leaves to go on a trip. And one of the things that he said that was funny was, he was like, I'm coming back home. You know, no, he says, I'm leaving. And then she was like, well, you know, just don't forget your cell phone. He was like, I thought you were going to stop me. And then she's like, you want me to stop you? And then he was like, you're going to get lonely at night. He said, you're going to get lonely, right? Especially at night. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, when I saw it, I was like, oh, so he just casually had sex with him. I didn't know that. Like, I don't know shit about this visual novel. I don't have it. I didn't know shit about this series until I watched the first series, which I thought was okay. I thought the first series was okay, especially the shit in the end. In the beginning, I was just kind of like, whatever. But in the end, I was like, oh, this is a deeper series than what I thought. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I thought it was a deep series. But watching this shit, I was like, wow, the history behind this shit is interesting. He had sex with them. I kind of thought he might have did something with his master because he kept saying he was weak against, like, he didn't say busty. I forgot the term that he used. Sizable women, I think that's what he said. You know what I'm saying? He said he's weak against sizable women. So I was like, okay, he might have done something. He might have done something with Asako. I wasn't thinking that he did anything with JB because JB just seemed like, I don't know, like their interaction with one another just seemed like brother and sister. So I was like, he probably didn't do shit with her. But he did at age 14 and at age 16. So I'm just like, holy shit. I wasn't thinking that. But he goes on a Forrest Gump trip. You know what I'm saying? He just kind of goes around the world just driving his bike. It's almost like, didn't Che Guevara do that? Didn't he just hop on his bike and just kind of ride the motherfucker around? I think. I could be wrong. But he does something like that. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of find himself. And someone mentions youth. That's youth for you. And that's when he comes up with the idea and notion of, I want to retrieve my youth since I didn't have a chance to do it. I'm going to go to ordinary high school and just be a high school student. I didn't have a chance to do that shit, so I'm going to do it now. And that's the end of the history. Now, the interesting part was, in the end, he gets a call from someone. And they're like, hey, 9029, we got a mission for you. It's a sniping mission. There is a guy, there's a person, a national terrorist, who's coming on a boat. He's going to be at the bottom of a crane or whatever. The boat's going to be passing through a harbor that's at the bottom of a crane, and we need for you to take him out. Shoot to kill mission. Just shoot him and kill him. And the whole time, cause it's supposed to be someone named Ethan Glow. Ethan Glow is this person's name. The whole time, just because I already knew, we see him in like episode 1, I think, episode 0 or something. I was just kind of like, yeah, that's Heath Oslo. I can already tell this is the man who took Yuuji in. You know what I'm saying? Who made him into this killing machine. That's Heath Oslo. And it was Heath Oslo. Yuuji freaks the fuck out because he sees Heath Oslo. And Heath Oslo looks directly into the line of sight of that sniper rifle and was like, I have returned Yuuji Kazumi. And I was like, holy shit. Like, I didn't know that he was going to see him. And Yuuji freaks the fuck out. Now, that part I saw coming. The interesting shit was in the end. In the end, the guy who was talking to Yuuji is talking to someone else. He's like, hey, 9029 fucked up. What should we do about this? And it's a woman who just like, for now, take him off of this shit. It seems as though he's not ready, blah, blah, blah. This person just talking. But this person is disguising their voice. Whoever this person is disguising their voice. So whoever this person is, I'm assuming, is the leader of this organization, the overall leader of this organization. This person is disguising their voice. Right away, I'm telling you, I think it's his sister. Why would they disguise the voice? Because I'm pretty sure she would still have the same voice inflection. It wouldn't be the same voice because she's older now. She has to at least be 18 or 19 years old. But it would be the same voice inflection. It would still be the same. If we had heard that shit, would have been like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? It's his sister. But dog, I'm telling you, I think that was Kazumi's sister. I think that's Yuji's sister. When I heard that shit, and then Heath Oslo returning, and the first fucking mission that he's given is to fucking kill Heath Oslo, I'm thinking that's his sister, man. I'm thinking that his sister got wind of what Heath Oslo did, and she knows what type of person Heath Oslo is, because it was only because of her paintings that Heath Oslo even came to the fucking house. So I'm thinking that his sister is trying to actually get Yuuji to kill Heath Oslo because of what Heath Oslo did to him as a kid, and she's saying he's not ready to do it yet. And then after the credits roll, we see that Yuuji is being implicated in a terrorist attack that has happened. It's being broadcasted on the news, and the girls are watching it as they are at home. You know what I'm saying? Because they actually are struggling with trying to figure out how they're gonna approach and deal with Yuuji when he comes back. You know, and Sakaki is just kind of like, just deal with him regularly. Yumiko, she just like, deal with him regularly. You know what I'm saying? It just be the way that it always is. You know, because he helped us. Now, the thing is Yuuji ready to die? Because the whole thing with Asuko was that she was like, you can't die until you save 10 people. But since you have a man, I'm gonna shave it down to half. You can't die until you save 5 people. If I'm not mistaken, that's Michiru, that's Yumiko, that's Amane, that's yeah, it's 5 of them. It's the pink-haired girl who wears the maid outfit, and the little girl whose mother was trying to have her killed, and Yuuji killed the mother. That's 5 right there. So does that mean I saved those 5 from something that's happened in their past and something that was about to take their lives? I saved their lives, so now he's ready to die. Oh man, I had to talk about this. I wasn't even gonna review this series. I was just gonna watch it on my own. But holy fuck, man! This second season is a lot fucking better than season 1. Season 1, like I said, was okay. I thought it was okay. Thought it was too jokey and all that sort of stuff. But fuck, man, this season, shit, great fucking episode. This was a great fucking episode, man. Damn. Let me know what you guys think about this shit, though, man. Vash and P. Go.